and gentlemen, our first fight of the evening is in the Tuff-N-Uff featherweight division. Introducing first, standing in the blue corner, making his Tuff-N-Uff debut, fighting out of UFC Gym Blue Diamond, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here is Fender. Standing across the cage in the red corner with no wins and 2 losses, fighting out of Doom MMA Academy and Las Vegas Krav Maga, Las Vegas, Nevada. He is Eric Animal Jordan. Referee in charge of the action inside the cage is Mark Smith.
Referee Mark Smith to get things started again. Tom Fender in the white trunks. Eric Jordan in the black.
Both these guys look really athletic.
Telegraphed the shot there, did Fender. Jordan got out of the way, but you're right, they both look well put together.
You want to see him set it up a little bit more, kind of like that.
Hand on the chin there for Jordan, trying to sneak it underneath the neck.
Yeah, it says here, Tom's a wrestler.
Eric Jordan controlling from the front headlock position. Does have the right wrist underneath the chin, but I don't think he's been able to lock it.
He's going for a sit out. It's a good way to get to the back if you can get out.
Fender does a good job of staying calm, getting back to his feet, and they reset. Oh, nice leaping jab there by Jordan.
I'd like to see Tom throw some feints in there.
Yeah, certainly something that comes with experience. Tom Fender, but driving now through, didn't set up the shot, but was able to get inside, take the fight to the ground. 1 minute left in the opening round. 3 2-minute rounds tonight in the amateur ranks, and right now Tom Fender in top position.
You're gonna look here for a knee slide pass, it looks like, maybe, while the guard's open.
Yeah, Eric Jordan.
Slide one knee through, there you go. Now getting the half guard. Half guard's a good position to ground and pound from the top, especially on MMA. If you can get him up against the cage, keep in half, you can really control the body.
Yeah, a lot of fighters do like to stay in half. Instead, Tom Fender moves out to side control. You can see sometimes a little more difficult to keep a guy down from side control. Now steps over to mount. Eric Jordan in a lot of trouble here, but is able to spin free and back to his feet. Eric Jordan was briefly mounted, but felt the opportunity.
Nice, that was a good shot. Good sprawl.
Tom Fender, you saw in the restart, ducked underneath that jab, shot in for another takedown. Eric Jordan defending against the cage in the final seconds of the opening round. Again, wrapping the hand underneath that chin, that must be kind of a go-to position for him. That's twice that he's gone to it. Jake Swinney, a little bit of back and forth. Eric Jordan looked sharp early, but Tom Fender came back with a takedown attempt. So how do you score the first?
I mean, I would have to give it to Tom Fender. He was the guy initiating the takedowns. I didn't see too much from striking, and he landed him out. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Tom Fender looked a little tentative at first. I think, again, making his amateur debut tonight, probably had a little bit of nerves. Looked a little bit tense. Didn't necessarily set up those shots, but was tenacious enough to go ahead and get that one big takedown and move in pretty deep on the second one as well. So he'll certainly want to keep that up in the second round. Eric Jordan, what kind of adjustments would you be asking him to make?
I don't know where he wants to keep this fight, so maybe jab a little bit more and stay up. Krav Maga's a little bit of everything, so jab, jab, jab.
You got it. All right. Second round coming your way again. 145-pound action here. Tom Fender in the white trunks, Eric Jordan in the black. Mark Smith moving into a neutral corner briefly. I don't know, didn't see exactly what happened. Calling a timeout. Looked like maybe some spilled ice over there in the corner. Obviously, we want to get any debris out of the cage. Don't want to put these fighters at risk. Mark Smith drying up a wet spot there. Now that that's taken care of, we'll put 2 minutes on the clock and get this second round underway.
2 minutes is such a quick time. They really got to work at it. Let's not do this too much. Not too much feeling out. Let's see some action. Good jab.
Eric Jordan is crisp with his hands. Lands a nice right there as well. Doesn't hold his hands in a traditional boxing stance. I think he was trying to ready himself for that takedown. Tom Fender might want to give this up. Holding on to the leg.
He should stand up with it and then treetop him. Maybe try to trip him from there.
Tom Fender deep on the single. Looks like he's switching to a double leg.
Nice. Very nice.
Gets the takedown, briefly steps over the legs, trapping Eric Jordan against the cage.
He's going to want to scoot Eric's hips out away from the cage and get him flat. It's really hard to stay controlled with the guy's back on the cage. The main point here is to keep your head above his and your hips above his hips.
Tom Fender doing that. Now jumping to the back, extremely high on the back. He does have the right arm trapped. You can see the right leg is wrapped over the arm. That means that Eric Jordan is not going to be able to use that in defense. Tom Fender was very high on the back, but Eric Jordan was not able to take advantage of it. Now the rear naked choke is in. Little off to the side. Can he get the proper squeeze from off to the side? Mark Smith watching closely. Eric Jordan, again, can't use his right arm right now, which is pinned under the leg, so can't get the 2-on-1. Is just trying to survive with the 1.
When you get a choke like that, you just want to hold as long as you can. Sometimes it takes 10, 15 seconds for somebody to actually pass out. And if you keep on squeezing and releasing and squeezing, it's just going to allow them to adjust and move out.
And Eric Jordan does survive, so instead Tom Fender rolls over to mount. That right arm is still pinned. He gets it free. One more chance at the back in the final seconds. Tom Fender all over Eric Jordan in this second round. Eric's showing a lot of heart.
Tom was doing good at keeping him spread out with his hand and the hip. And, I mean, I got this 2-0 for Tom.
Yeah,
what do you say?
I completely agree with you there. Obviously, that was a fantastic round for Tom Fender in his amateur debut. Credit to Eric Jordan for surviving. Didn't panic. I mean, his right arm was trapped. The arm was trapped around his neck looking for the choke. He didn't panic.
He didn't tap
calm and survived.
It was awesome.
Yeah, great heart. But I think Eric Jordan is going to need to do something special in this third and final round. I think, obviously, he definitely lost the second round. We think he lost the opening round as well. And Tom Fender, in his amateur debut, has to be feeling pretty good about the way things are going. Now, it's just a matter of how the gas tank is. It sounds crazy. 2-minute rounds to an average person might say, well, I can do anything for 2 minutes, but it doesn't work that way.
Not when you got all the crowd around you and all this adrenaline going through your body. Your muscles tire much faster in here, speaking from experience, than in practice or.
So third and final round, Tom Fender in the white trunks. Jake Swinney and I have him up 2-0 Eric Jordan in the black. Probably going to need a finish here in the third round if he wants to salvage victory. And the big thing for Eric Jordan is his downfall so far has been getting taken to the mat and just controlled, really. Not taking a lot of damage on the bottom, but unfortunately has lost the positioning battle. I imagine he'll be looking to time. So Tom Fender in the first 2 rounds is pretty much shot in without setting anything up. I imagine Eric Jordan is going to be looking to counter with maybe an uppercut. Can't throw a knee strike because this is the amateur ranks. Can't throw a knee. But
at least not to the head. Anyways.
Yeah, at least not to the head, right. Could go to the body, but, a shooting wrestler, you couldn't tag him in the head.
Right.
But maybe an uppercut, that sort of thing. You can hear we've got Eric Jordan's corner right next to him, and they're asking him to please get busy. Throw your hands. There's a big uppercut. Nice. Tom Fender moved around it and got the takedown.
Nice.
45 seconds into the third and final round, and Tom Fender again on top in a position that he has enjoyed for much of this fight.
Tom's looking really good on his, especially that takedown. The way he's taking his angles, he's a good wrestler, I would say.
You can see Tom trying to trap that arm again. Advancing, stepping over the legs again. Does that very well. Traps the left arm this time.
I would think he should be cross-facing instead of pushing around going for that choke, especially with his head wrapped up too. But
he does adjust to the guillotine, yeah. In the mount there.
His shoulder was too high on the back of his head. You want to keep your shoulder just below the crown of the skull.
Referee Mark Smith giving Jordan a warning for grabbing onto the fence. Eric Jordan trying anything he can right now as he works to a knee. Wants to get free.
Those knees did not feel good for Eric.
Punches to the head, settling back into the mount position. 15 seconds left. Tom Fender on top. Going to try to posture up and rain down some blows and end this thing in style. Instead, he's just going to ride out the position. Eric Jordan underneath. Round ends with Tom Fender on top. You show the great sportsmanship there as he lifts his opponent off the mat, but I think that's got to be a clean sweep for Tom Fender, the 28-year-old making his amateur debut. Used wrestling, didn't really show us much on the feet, but didn't have to. He got the fight to the ground repeatedly, and controlled the fight throughout. And I think he's going to be walking away with a pretty clear-cut unanimous decision in his amateur debut.
I tend to agree with you.
Jake, how good does that first win feel?
Oh, I mean, my first win was pretty incredible. My coach called it just the way that that it happened. He said I was going to get an armbar in the first round, and I was just high for weeks on it. Just the win alone, you know.
All the hard work in the gym and taking the chance. I mean, you've got to think anytime you get in the cage, you wonder if you're really as good as you think you are. And to go in there and get the win in your amateur debut certainly has to be a fantastic feeling for Tom Fender. At least that's what we assume is going to happen. We'll take it up to Justin Bernard and get the official result.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of war, we have your winner by unanimous decision, Tom Fender!
So as expected, Tom Fender takes home the unanimous decision. He is victorious in his amateur debut. You can imagine he is on top of the world. I'm sure he will have a fantastic time celebrating his debut victory.